Temple Square in Salt Lake City, Utah. They just announced they're going to close the temple and Temple Square and do some major remodeling and changing for I think 4 years. I wanted to document what it's like now, what it's been like for a long time before all the changes. Got the North Visitor Center over here.
Hey, Mayor, you alright?
They always do a good job with flowers all over Temple Square. The temple and the tabernacle. The Mormon Tabernacle Choir is pretty famous. They sing in there with their big organ. Temple Square, Salt Lake City, Utah.
They have GPS on there.
Yeah.
On your phone.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just an app you download.
We'll go inside the visitor centers and the tabernacle later. Just want to get the outside first. This is the assembly hall. Beautiful building. Built in 1880. The Siegel Monument. Erected in grateful remembrance of the mercy of God to the Mormon pioneers. There's a story where these crickets or grasshoppers came and were destroying all the crops, and some seagulls came and ate all the crickets. There's the Handcart Pioneer Monument over here. Hundreds of people took the 1350-mile trek from Iowa to Salt Lake with hand carts, walking and pulling their possessions. Hi. Over there is the South Visitor Center. Got the Nauvoo Bell over here, we'll come see. There it is. This bell was in the Nauvoo Temple in the 1840s. It's rung hourly and heard on the KSL radio station. Avard Fairbanks does a lot of this art. National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark. At Christmas time, this is where they have the nativity scene set up, right in front of the North Visitor Center. Got the conference center across the street. Over here we have the South Visitor Center. You can see the North Visitor Center across there. Looking up there is the Joseph Smith Memorial Building, formerly Hotel Utah. And in the center of the 10-acre Temple Square is the Salt Lake Temple. A huge, majestic building that stands out. Took 40 years to build, 1853 to 1893. They moved those giant blocks of granite from where they carved them out of Little Cottonwood Canyon, 23 miles away. Moved them with ox-drawn wagons all the way up here to Salt Lake, and slowly built this place. A lot of intricate detail and symbolism on that building. Here we have statues representing the restoration of the Melchizedek priesthood and Aaronic priesthood. Up on top of the 210-foot tower is a golden statue of the Angel Moroni, which is actually seen on the top of most LDS temples. Back there you can see the church office building. We'll get a closer look at that later. Here's a fountain in front of the South Visitor Center again. The testimony of the 3 witnesses. Oliver Cowdery, Martin Harris, and David Whitmer. The Revelation of St. John the Divine. Over here we have Hiram Smith and Joseph Smith. Over here we have Hiram Smith and Joseph Smith. Hi. You'll always see friendly sister missionaries. They spend their day here explaining the church beliefs to people. Before we go out the east gate here, we'll come over here and look at the Meridian stone over there. It's pretty cool, at least for map geeks. United States Meridian Base, 1869.
Maybe presidency, maybe a.
Speaking of Meridian stones, we can come over here and see the Salt Lake Basin Meridian. They base all the addresses in Utah, other than the Great Basin over by Vernal, off of this stone right here on the corner. Several fountains on the square. There's the Brigham Young Monument. In honor of Brigham Young and the pioneers. Listed on that plaque are the names of the pioneers who arrived in the valley July 24th, 1847. The stars signify those now living when they made this marker. Hotel Utah, now the Joseph Smith Memorial Building, is a beautiful, majestic building. There was a hotel from 1911 to 1987 when it was redone to just be the Joseph Smith Memorial Building. A lot of receptions and theater stuff is happening here. The granite was taken from the same quarry where they got the stone for the Salt Lake Temple. This is Brigham Young's office, here between the Lion House and the Beehive House. The Beehive House served as Brigham Young's residence, office, and reception area for official visitors. At the time the house was built, Young was both president of the LDS Church and the governor. This is the Eagle Gate. We're over on the east side now. The Lion House and Beehive House are through these trees. There's the administration building, Hotel Utah, Joseph Smith Memorial Building, the temple, and the church office building. Looks like the fountain's not on today. Usually those are shooting up pretty high. Statue of Joseph and Emma Smith. Over here's a little stand where brides like to stand after they get married in the temple because of the obvious amazing view right behind. Right there. More water that's usually on, but not today, is this little fountain river. They have this place really lit up for Christmas. Christmas lights on everything. Got some other videos of that if you want to check those out. That's the Relief Society building over there. Next door to the office building, west of it. Almost as popular as the temple itself is the reflection pond in front of it over here, east of it. A great place to take pictures. Got Brigham Young here and Joseph Smith over there. Missionaries preaching to every creature. Got a squirrel here.